Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents and Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us. Excited about today's broadcast. I have a repeat guest that's joining us today. You guys know her as a master event planner, best-selling author, media personality, and brand strategist. We're going to talk to her about her amazing month that she's having, and also it's National Reading Month. So she has several books that you guys can be able to pick up. If you guys who are event planners or aspiring event planners, has something special for you guys as well. Melissa Banks is our guest. We're going to have a great time talking to Melissa about the things that she's up to this month, but also how you guys can stay connected with her. We'll welcome our friends joining us on the Amazon Live platform as well. And go ahead and type a welcome message to you guys. If you guys are new to us here on Amazon, make sure you guys do hit that follow button. See it here in this corner or down below. You also will see Melissa Banks at books that she has here. Also, you'll see her podcast, Dream by Design, with Melissa Banks as well. Melissa, welcome back to the broadcast.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Well, thank you. I feel the same way, Melissa. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, a lot for us to talk about. Now, I do want to highlight what is your latest book that you have. Let me go back to it here. You have so many, but but we have the Dream by Design affirmations for teen girls and their mothers. Melissa, talk to us. You had a book signing since our last chat. What was it like for you during the book signing to see people responding to your books?
You know what? It is nothing like signing the book and the reader is right there. They're so excited to get the book in their hand and you get to connect with them. That was just amazing. I loved it.
Yeah. And what is so cool about you, Melissa, is that you wear so many different hats as a lot of us do. But of course, being an author is something that just happened to you in the past 4 years. What has that been like for you to see that this new audience that you've gotten that have known you for business and event planning now being able to know you as an inspirational author?
You get to connect on a whole different level. They want to share their stories with you. They share the impact of your words and having your book, and they're excited to put that book in their hand and get to know you, and then you get to sign it. So it's a different type of connection. It's not one that I've dreamed about, that. So it was all new to me. So it's been a growing process, but it's nothing like that feeling of having that person right there when they get your book. Yeah.
Well, I just so happen, if you believe in things just so happening, Melissa Banks, happen to have all of my books here, including the first one, which our audience can see there, Dream by Design. This is the devotional. And then she has this book, which is Dream by Design, the Inspirational Journal. You all can see it there. And then we have this book, Dream by Design, on the Dream Journal. And then for men, she has this book, Dream for Him, which I take on my trips with me. You guys can see there. And then she has this book, Do I Really Need an Event Planner? And then, of course, the new book, as I've referenced, the affirmations for teen girls and their mothers. I'm curious, Melissa, for you at the book signing, which one was the biggest hit?
It was the Inspirational Journal.
Ah, okay.
It was. And, the ladies that purchased that book were talking about the spaces that you get to write. You get to get that prompt, but it's on your brain. So then you get to write how you're feeling about that and what you're going to do to change. What actions are you going to take? So that was the big seller, and everybody wanted that one.
Love it. Well, for you guys joining us on Amazon, you guys can see you can get it there for $7.99, or you can get the Kindle edition of that as well. All of the books, again, here are on Amazon, so you guys can get either the Kindle edition or, of course, the print editions as well. I want to talk about the event planning because this is going to be a big part of your month and actually the next few months of your year, Melissa. Event planning, that is kind of your core product, right? Mm-hmm. Take our audience back. What was it about event planning that initially made you say this is something you wanted to do?
Well, as you all know, I started out as a designer. I love making things beautiful. I love taking that vision out of your head and seeing the reaction when you walk into the space because I've turned it into your reality. But what was missing, what I learned is that as big a part as the design is so much happens to piece the entire experience together. And I wanted to be a part of creating the entire experience from the beginning when it's just a concept all jumbled up in the head to bringing it out into the room, the different moments you create to tell the story that you're trying to tell at that event. I wanted to be a part of all of it. And that's where event planning came in because you get to sit down, consultation to execution, and every detail in between. And it's absolutely an amazing experience. You connect with vendors, you get to know the clients more because you're talking to them and getting in their head all along the way. So you have a special connection by the time the event actually happens. And event planning allows me to do that. And that's why I loved it then, and that's why I love it now.
And so, with that, Melissa, I think one thing you have helped me with and educate me on, because I think a lot of times when we, especially on television, right, when we think about event planners, we typically just think about weddings.
Mhm.
We hear the title, but we think weddings. What has that been like for you to educate people as to the different things that event planners do?
That's a really, really great question because it's so true. When you say event planner, people think wedding and they think design. They don't think all the other type of events, the hybrid events, the virtual events, book signings, like I just did, um,
Mhm.
birthdays, all of that. We had to literally educate people onto why would I need an event planner for my 50th birthday party? I could just do it myself.
Yeah.
But so you had to educate people on the benefits of having an event planner. They know the vendors, they get special pricing. There's so many things that event planners know that you don't know. And another thing people thought that they could do them on their own is when virtual events started happening, they thought, well, definitely don't need an event planner for that. You just logging into Zoom, right? But you create experiences even virtually, and an event planner knows how to do that. And
Mhm.
problem solving. When something happens on site, that was another thing I really had to educate people on is you have an event planner on site. When something happens, she's a problem solver in the moment. So she thinks fast, she has a reaction fast, and she have backup plans.
Yeah, and for our audience joining us on Amazon, you'll notice I have Melissa's book. Do I really need an event planner? 7 things you need to consider when planning your next event. It ties in well with what we're going to talk about later, Melissa, which is what you have coming up as far as your training. But talk to us about this book and why you decided to write it.
Because so many people think they can plan it themselves because they're smart, because they've been doing it a long time. So I wanted to show people why you need an event planner. And then in the book, give some real life stories that having an event planner there changed everything and turned a disaster into creating a magical event. And also allows you to enjoy the event. If you're busy negotiating with vendors, if you're busy handling the problems, if you're busy making phone calls, if you're busy doing all that, your guests may be enjoying themselves, but you definitely are not enjoying yourself. You're going to be
Right.
stressed out through the whole period. And I want people to just kind of think about that when they're thinking about planning their own event.
Yeah, and I think the other side of that too, Melissa, is that you don't know what you don't know, and there are things that you don't think about that could help your event be better,
Right.
right, or
Right.
run smoother. But that's kind of the wheelhouse that you found yourself in. Now, what you're doing this year is really interesting. So you are now, not of course, as a master event planner yourself, you are now trying to help other people. One thing I've really appreciated about you, Melissa, and both of us kind of had a similar story, is we haven't always had people willing to help us. Some things we just have to figure out on our own. I know I was like that in broadcasting when I first started. There was no one trying to help me to do that or really anything else. But what? Why is it important for you to be able to pour into others to show them the ropes, but also to help those that may feel stagnant in their business already to be able to go to the next level? Why is it important for you?
But one of the things, the big thing is when I decided that I wanted to go from design to event planning, I started trying to figure out what that was and how I could get educated and trained in it. It was just not anything there all in one place for me to do that. And then I've shared this publicly before that I walked into a business here and she had a certification on her wall. And I got excited. Oh, she's got a certification in event planning. And I asked her, how did she get it? How did she find out about it? And she wasn't willing to share any information. But, of course, the certification had the name of the place who certified her. So I went, so I just went back and did my own research and I enrolled in that program. So what people don't know is don't let anybody stop you if it's in your core and it's something you wanted to do. It didn't come easily though. So I could have easily got overwhelmed and quit. And I just don't want people to do that. If you have a love or a passion for event planning, I wanted to put it all in a place that's organized, share what I know, And so that doesn't stop you, because it's overwhelming to find the information or the training that you need to understand it. Because once I signed up for that training, it was amazing how much I learned that event planners do that I would not have known had I not went through that program. So that is a very valuable lesson that I learned early on, and made a commitment to myself to share it, my knowledge, when I obtained it. And that's why I do so much of that.
Yeah. And I love that. Jesus Blackman 23, hello to you over there on Instagram. Yes, we're so Jesus Blackman 23. We are on Amazon. That's our primary platform, but we simulcast the show live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and on Instagram. We're not on X today. Unfortunately, they're having some tech issues, so we're not on X today. But typically, we'd be on Twitter or X as well. So that way, you can always be able to catch the replay. For those who are just tuning in, welcome. You all are watching Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live. We're joined by master event planner, best-selling author, media personality, and brand strategist Melissa Banks. We're talking with her about a very busy 2025. Her first book signing of the year. She just celebrated that, but she's also getting ready for her first training of the year. So, Melissa, tell us about the training and what people can expect.
But that's great. This is a great lean in from what I was talking about then. Is one of the challenges I faced, but I would find some information over here. As my business continued to grow, I was still looking for information. I would find it a little bit over here, a little bit over here. Then I was afraid to make steps because I didn't have anybody to ask questions to, or I made the wrong step, but ended up being costly. So what I wanted to create was all of it in a package. This is the business side of it, and this is the side that's most challenging for most people, because we know what we love, right? We know we love the beauty, we love bringing the experiences, but the business side and building the business is where we need help with. And that's what this training does. It starts with the fundamentals. It talks about marketing. It talks about pricing and pricing formats. It put it all there in one place, so that if you're just starting to make it a business, you've been doing it, but you're ready for it to be a business, it gives you a roadmap, if you will, as to how to get started and what things that you should focus on in the beginning. But even if you've been doing it in a while, but you never really had any professional training, any putting it all together, and you're ready to organize it, make it more structured and take it to another level, this training is great for you as well. And it's going to answer all those questions that you have in your head. What is an event planner? How can I market my event planning and all of this? So we're super excited because we have one session in the training that's all about social media, which is new to us old heads that have been here a long time. We had to learn how to market. It was not that legwork. You remember the legwork, Cyrus, that we used to do at the beginning. So it's not so much that anymore. It's more about using social media and using it in the right way. So Cyrus Webb is going to be leading that session, and he's going to be sharing. I'm talking to you about you in the third person. You will be sharing your knowledge, your expertise, how to use it effectively, and not just posting, but making your post count and your activity on that count. So that's all part of the program, and that's all part of your business. So it's all right there.
Such an important thing. And Melissa, I'm so glad. And first of all, it's an honor to be a part of this. I give Melissa a hard time, and rightly so, but I was so glad that she invited me to, to be a part of this with her, because I love what she's doing. I know the passion she has. I do want to ask you, on a personal note, though, Melissa, how does it feel? I mean, you kind of have turned things so interestingly in your business. You've gone from being an event planner to then being a author, then being a motivational speaker. How does it feel now to be on the training side? You've gone to trainings. How does it feel to be on the training side as an event planner?
I have to tell you, it is exciting. I love taking what I've learned over the 25 years that I've been doing this, and seeing it come out and inspire someone else to take their business seriously and delve into it without getting overwhelmed about all the stuff. So it's really an exciting place to be. And I'm looking forward to so much more in this place as well.
Yeah. Well, we're going to let our audience know, of course, how they can be able to get all the information. I do want to talk about, and I referenced it earlier, your newest book, A Dream by Design, Affirmations for Teen Girls and Their Mothers. Talk to us about why you decided to do this particular book, Melissa.
This book is special to me because I just believe if we can inspire and encourage young girls early of their value, and that they have the power themselves and just pour in affirmations. And everybody who follows me knows I believe in affirmations. But if we start them early, it will impact them early, and it will increase that mother-daughter bond. And one my most special relationship is with my mother and the bond that we have. But it took us some time to get there. So I'm believing that this book, with mothers and daughters working together and saying those affirmations, and there's even places in here that they can just write how they feel, it's going to strengthen that bond with mothers and daughters.
Yeah, it's great. I think to be able to have that connection is something they can be able to do together. And I think also I was thinking about as you're now spending time with people, it gives them an opportunity to be able to communicate with each other too through the pages. Maybe things they may not have said out loud, being able to write in, I think is a really cool thing.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
very busy year for you. One thing we have not talked about yet, I mentioned that on the Amazon side, Melissa, they can be able to see the Dream by Design with Melissa Bates podcast. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it there. You guys can catch up there. But you're launching a brand new show called The Melissa Banks Show. What can we expect from the Melissa Banks Show, Melissa?
You know what? I'm excited. And I love the way you said that, the Melissa Banks show. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so you're used to, we've had 4 seasons of Dream by Design where we just brought women. It was about women pouring into women on that show. The Melissa Banks show is about artists, entrepreneurs, creatives, authors, anyone that's boldly chasing their dreams and ready to share those journeys of how did they get to creating that product, how they inspired others, how they keep moving. So I'm excited about the show because it's not only for women, it's for men as well. And we get to hear both sides of those stories in the journey, because we entrepreneurs know that it's all about the journey and how you adapt to the different twists and turns of the journey, and sharing the impact it has on you, and hopefully impact someone that's listening to inspire them to move forward on their dreams as well.
Yeah. So a lot going on with Melissa's you guys can be able to see this year. But I think one of the big things though is about the being able to inspire and pour into others. Melissa, as we wrap up here, we're going to remind our audience too about the training, but I want to ask you about affirmations. One of our mutual friends, Dr. Velma Bagby, who's also a co-host with us on Word That He's Lived By, was calling you the Queen of Affirmations today. How does it feel to know that you're able to, through the words that you say, inspire others, Melissa, but also motivate them as they're kind of on their own journey?
Well, I love that. And I love that it has that impact, because I believe that's where your power lies. Your power definitely lies in the words you say to yourself. And that's how I began to just grab hold of affirmations to move forward in my life and encourage others. And it definitely does that, because they will remember that. When I'm speaking, Cyrus, I always have the audience say some affirmations out loud. The value of saying them out loud is powerful. It sows into who you are. And then it comes out in the actions that you take later. So it's been very inspiring for me. And I believe the journey that I've taken, when I share that with someone else, it inspires them as well.
Love that. This is a great message, and you're doing great work. Again, everyone, Melissa Banks has been our guest. Last thing we want to remind you guys of is the training that is coming up. As you guys can see it on the screen there, the Business of Event Planning. It's a live virtual training, so it doesn't matter where you live. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Central. That, of course, is 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, beginning on April the 7th. So as you guys can see there, it's going to wrap up on May the 19th. The replay is included, so you guys can get involved in the early bird special. You have a week to take advantage of the early bird special. And also you can see, of course, the regular price there. Melissa, I want to ask you, as we're wrapping up here, I mean, talk to us about what your hope is when people finish this training. What do you hope it's able to equip them with?
The knowledge and the tools to go out and put it all together and make their business happen, whether they're trying to do it and expanding an existing business or just kicking off a dream. They had this passion in here. Now they have the tools and the resources to go make their dreams happen. And I'm believing that this course and this training at the end of it will give them what they need in order to move the needle, jump into that passion and turn it into a business.
Love that. Love that. Again, everyone, Melissa Banks has been our guest. Make sure you guys do get her books. Again, there's a little something for everyone, inspiration for men and for women, great journals as well. And then, of course, her newest book, I'm going to highlight it again for you guys on the Amazon side here. Where is it at? Let's see. There it is. The Dream by Design Affirmations for Teen Girls and Their Mothers. You guys can get it there in print and Kindle. Melissa, congratulations to you on another exciting month there. Let our viewers and listeners know how to stay connected with you.
Thank you, Cyrus. This is always a pleasure. It was a great time just talking about everything that's going on with you today. And as always, we make it simple to connect with us. You just go to themelissabanks.com. All the links are right there. Just depends on what you're looking for. You can just click right there and it'll take you right to it. That's themelissabanks.com.
All right. William McQuarrie, hello to you. Good to be able to see you over there on Facebook. Glad you could join us. And appreciate you guys over there on IG as well as on Amazon. Glad you all can be with us. Again, as I mentioned, we were having some tech issues with X. We had to disconnect them because they were having some connection issues. Melissa, congratulations to you. Looking forward to checking back in with you next month.
Thank you so much.
More than welcome. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents and Conversations Live. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.